Palestinians in prison suffer from violence, sexual assault, and humiliation. The organization that I'm working in is Physicians for Human Rights Israel. It was established during the first Intifada in 1988 by a group of Palestinian and Jewish physicians. We are focusing on the right to health of those who are under the responsibility and the control of Israel, including Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza, asylum seekers and refugees, people in the social and geographical periphery, and people in prison. Our Department of Prisoners and Detainees, which I'm also part of, assists about 500 individual cases per year, and through individual cases we identify structural problems and we work on policy change. Since the beginning of October, the conditions of Palestinians in Israeli custody have reached a tragic climax. Before that, Palestinians in prison suffered systemically. The rights have been violated. After the beginning of October, the Israeli authorities has imposed a vindictive and brutal policy, which includes a lockdown in the cell, prevention of water and electricity, confiscation of all private property, extreme overcrowding. People were sleeping on mattresses, and some even didn't have that. Denial of contact with family, limited to non-existent access to medical care and to legal representation. The Red Cross has been prevented from entering detention facilities. People suffered from malnutrition. There were Palestinian detainees who were detained for a few months, has lost dozens of kilos. The prison guards were confiscating all private property. People were left with only one T-shirt, the one that they were wearing throughout the winter. And death cases since October, about 60 Palestinians, both under the custody of the prison service and the Israeli army, have died in prison. Forensic evidence shows that some had severe violence and some suffered from medical neglect. We turn to media when we have new information and stories, both international and local, internal advocacy, and we also appeal to court on several issues regarding Palestinians in prisons, including unlawful combatants law, clothing, food, access of the Red Cross, family visits, trying to locate Gazan detainees that Israel doesn't disclose the number of how many people are being detained, under which conditions, and we are talking of thousands of people. Israel also doesn't disclose the number of how many Gazan detainees have died under the military custody. So we also appeal to court on that. In international advocacy, we try to speak with international bodies and with other stakeholders to try to change the situation. It's not easy to post things on social media these days, especially for Palestinians. If you share empathy with people in Gaza, with Palestinian detainees and prisoners. I got threats messages for almost 4 months after I spoke at the Israeli parliament about the conditions of Palestinians in prison. But in general, for Palestinians, it is much harder. Despite many trials to change the situation is still very bad. We need the help of anyone who can to raise awareness and to pressure in order to change the situation.